here. For those of you who are watching on FlossTube, this is a channel about cross stitch. Today is August the 25th, 2020, and today I think we're just going to do a little bit of stitching together. So welcome everybody. I'm glad that you're here, and I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I guess we'll wait a few minutes to see if anybody jumps on with me this morning. Um, I'd like to welcome anyone that is new and thank all of you who have been hanging out with me for continuing to come back. That's just been a wonderful thing. So I'll give it a couple minutes for people to join and for me to figure out here where I am. What did I do? Okay, this is in the wrong spot. Gotta take this out. See, we all make mistakes at one time or another, and that's what stitching is all about. I'm working on Stitcher's Retreat again today because, well, as those of you that have been following me know, I'm on a mission to finish this thing. It's been, well, let me think. It's been 4 years that I've been working on it, but actually only 3 of them were I was actively working because I put it away for a year, and as most of you know, made Christmas stockings for my grandkids. So that was time well spent, and our ladies here had to just wait a little bit until they would be worked on again. So at this point today, I'm at 77.25% finished according to Pattern Keeper. The whole chart has 468,125 stitches. So I have stitched 361 plus thousand stitches. So we're moving merrily along. And the goal is to have it finished this year. I hope I can accomplish that, but I won't be upset if I don't. I'd like to have it finished by my birthday. Oops. My birthday next year. So we'll see how that goes. So how is everybody today? We're having a nice sunny day here today, although we're supposed to get some thunderstorms a bit later. We could use some rain. That would be good. As you can see on Stitcher's Retreat, I had been doing a little bit of cross country by sections, but now I've switched back to working pretty much on the diagonal. And I'm finding what I like the best, and um, what I like the best and seems to go a bit faster for me is to stitch by color on the diagonal instead of going row by row and stitch by stitch. You know, I get it. I get it. That changing color every couple stitches certainly gets old after a while. And I've done that. So I like this better. I don't have to be rethreading my needle so much. Plus, what I'm doing is filtering in. I'm not sticking to a solid diagonal line. I'm kind of going with the colors so that if it bleeds over into the next diagonal, I'm going to stitch it. I think that helps to eliminate the lines that people get. Because anytime you do have that blunt edge, there is the tendency to have lines. You know, and I think that's due to several things. I think it's due to tension. Um, is part of it, but I also think it's the physical way that things are stitched, because your threads are pulling. You know, when you stick to that hard line, you have threads pulling in two different directions at the same time. So that helps create that channel on the back that helps things have a line in it. So I'm going to try this method for a little bit and see how that goes. So I've been away for a while because of my own stupidity. I can't believe I did it. I broke the screen on my laptop, and that's what I use to do my filming. I have a MacBook Pro, and I went to pick up the computer to look at something closer because, you know, it's a little bit of ways from me. I have to lean front, which that's okay. But silly me went to pick it up, and the base of the laptop I picked up on one corner, and I didn't close it, and I picked up on the corner of the screen, and I guess I pressed on it. No, I don't guess. I know I pressed on the screen a bit too hard, and as soon as I did it, I went, oh no, don't do that, and bam, I cracked I didn't crack the screen itself, but I cracked that underneath part that gives it the colors, and it's a retinal display. So whatever that film is underneath that gives all the colors and the pixels and all of that, that's what I cracked. And my screen went black, and in the one corner you could see stripes of colors. Oh, I was sick. I was totally, totally sick. I wanted to cry and thought, you stupid, stupid, stupid girl. You know better than to do that. And what did I do? I did it. So I had to wait to get an appointment at the Genius Bar at the Apple Store. And it turned out they could normally fix it there, but due to the COVID and all of that that's going on today, they had to send it away. So it went to their service provider to be repaired, and I just got it back the end of last week. So I'm planning on starting up and getting back into some regular streams as of today. So I'm a bit out of practice. I've watched Jules on occasion when I can, and I try to catch Purple Sharon when I can catch her. Um, and that's been fun. They both have some really wonderful streams. So hopefully now I can get back to business and get some stitching done and start talking to you guys again. So it's good to see you here for those of you that are joining, and thanks for hanging out with me and allowing me to come into your home while you stitch. So what's everybody stitching on? You know, always interested to hear what people are working on. As I said, I'm working on Stitcher's Retreat. I so want to get it finished. I'll probably end up having to move the hoop, or wanting to move the hoop shortly, and then I'll try and show you how far I am on it. Like I said, it's 77.25%. So I really only have a little over 100,000 stitches to go. I think it's like 100 and maybe 10,000. So if I buckle down and work on this as much as I can every day, I think it is possible to accomplish that till the end of the year. However, like I said, if I don't, I don't. Part of me wants it. I mean, how do you guys feel about your projects? There's part of me that would really, really, really want this finished, because I'm getting so tired of working on it. 4 years on a project. I mean, and I've done, don't get me wrong, I've done some other things in between. Um, but really, primarily, it's been this. So there's that side of me that says, oh my God, let's get this finished. We really want to be done with this and move on and concentrate on the next full coverage. Because, well, first of all, I'm finding that full coverage is really, I love stitching that more than anything else. I get too bored with other things. Like, I thought I wanted to stitch Pandemic, but everybody's stitching that. And one color, I don't know that I can go with just one color for that big of a project anymore. I really do get bored with that. So there's that side of me that really wants this done so that I can focus on something else. Another full coverage piece, which is yet to be determined, by the way, because I have a couple started. So it's, do I finish? Do I concentrate on finishing another one that started? Or do I go, you finished one, that means you can start something else. So there's always those choices to make. But now the other side of me, and I think that's kind of why my stitching has slowed down a little bit here of late. The other side of me is saying, when I finish this, I am really, really, really going to miss stitching on it. I mean, when you spend this much time on a project, it just becomes so much a part of your life and who you are, and you've poured so much energy and time into it that, in a way, you kind of hate to see it finish because you're going to miss working on it. It's like losing a very old friend, because I think somehow we bond with these pieces when you're working on something that's so big and takes such a long, long, long time. I think you kind of form a special bond, and when it's finished, for as glorious as that moment is, it's really kind of sad too. It's like, oh, I'm losing one of my best friends. So I think for that reason, my stitching has slowed down a bit. Because one side of me really wants it finished, and the other side of me wants to drag it out just a little bit longer, so we don't have to let it go. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think, does that happen to you, where you want to get something finished, but then at the same time you don't want to finish it? I mean, what does anybody think? I'd be interested to hear what everybody thinks about that. Is that just me, or does that happen to you guys too? Okay, let me mark off some stitches here before I lose my place. That's one thing phooey. That's one thing in Pattern Keeper. And when you stitch this way, you gotta keep up with marking off the stitches. Because if you don't, you still have that tendency to get a little lost. Although it's not so bad when you're hanging out on a diagonal and you're really concentrating on that diagonal line of 10 stitches. So it's pretty easy to figure out if you've made a bit of a mistake. What do I feel going on here in the back? That's what I thought. Okay, back we go. How many of you rip out for a knot? Yeah, I do. And of course, it's further back than I thought. And I can still feel it. It's not there yet. So, let's see, what else has been going on? We're still hanging out at home because of all the COVID. I mean, I don't know, those of you that are in other countries, how you're faring. It seems like here the numbers have been going up. So, since my husband has COPD, he just no way can afford to get that. So we've we've pretty much been homebodies. I call us Mr. and Mrs. No Life. Oh, because that's really what we do. We have no life. We stay at home. We do our own thing. I am over here in well, it's actually a sun porch that is my craft room. And I'm over here most of the day stitching. And my husband sits at the island in the living room and reads on his Kindle most of the day. Not only does he have the COPD, he has rather bad arthritis, so he hurts a lot of the time. It does him in. We have an acre and a half of land, and might not be quite an acre and a half, but it's a rather large lot for here in just outside of the borough that we live near, because most of the homes around us have the minimum half acre, where we have an acre and a half, which is nice. It's like, we don't have houses right on top of us, and we like that. Um, but I mean, the older we get, and the worse my husband's arthritis gets, the harder it is to maintain it all. I mean, he doesn't do too bad with the mowing because he has a riding mower, so that's not so bad. But when he has to do the weed eater, wow, that really does him in. And he can't do it all in one day anymore. So we're pretty much homebodies. When he's not mowing or weed eating, he's sitting at the kitchen counter reading. And let's see, yesterday I went to see the grandkids. Well, went to see my daughter and the grandkids. Um, we had to have a little bit of a meeting of the minds, is what Nana calls it. That's what we called it when my daughter was little. We had to have a meeting of the minds. We needed to have a discussion. They were so, uh-oh, I think we're in trouble with Nana. So they talked Nana into playing Minecraft. And now my grandchildren are only 5 and 6 years old, but they talked Nana into playing Minecraft with them. So they call me at night in the evening and say, Nana, can you play? But then they really don't want to play Minecraft with Nana, who is, by the way, has no clue how to play this game. They just want to come in her world and do their own thing. So we had to have a little chat about being a team player and kindness and all of that stuff. So that was fun. That was fun. Until it was all said and done, they were, okay, Nana. will do better. Which they did. They called last night and we did our thing, and it was a much better experience. And Nana still doesn't know what the heck she's doing, but she tries. At least my whole thing is whether I can play it or not, it is really insignificant. The whole important thing is we're making a memory, and they will have the memory of Nana always played the games with us, and that's more important than the game itself. So that's what we did. But anyway, back to stitching. I'm not. What are you guys working on? Hmm? I really would be interested to hear. I'm sitting here talking. Feel like I'm sitting here talking to myself, but that's okay. I'll do that too. Okay, here we go. I'm getting a little confused. I gotta mark off again. Hold on. I'll have myself lost. Pattern Keeper is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. For those of you that haven't tried it yet, oh my lands, you need to try it. It's just a fun thing, and oh, it makes doing this cross country within the diagonal really, really easy, because you can see exactly where your next stitches need to be. It's awesome. You can highlight your color, you can mark off your color. Um, you can, if you're parking threads, you can mark where they're placed. It's just an all-around wonderful program, and the developer is just a one-woman show, and she is just amazing. Just amazing. She is a cross stitcher, and she works full-time at another job, or at least she did. I don't know if she is still doing that or if she is concentrating now all her time on this app, um, because wow, it really has taken off, and so many people have have bought it, and it really is, in the grand scheme of things, for what it does, it really is inexpensive. It's, I think when I got it, it was somewhere around $8. So it's amazing. It's I love it. I love it. I don't know how I stitched without it before, because I really can't go back to paper. No, I can go back to paper, but I really don't want to go back to paper, because this is just so nice. And now a lot of the tools you don't even have to use. You can set up some preferences in the settings, and you can just search by double tapping, or you can, once you have the stitches highlighted, or marked, I should say, the ones that you stitch, you can just double tap it and it will highlight them, or it will mark them all as stitched at the same time. so you don't have to do it one at a time. It's really pretty cool. So, does anybody have any questions? I will gladly answer any questions that I can. People seem to be pretty quiet today. You know, I didn't come on with today having any kind of a um, tutorial or anything planned, but if you have some suggestions or things that you want to learn about, I can gladly do that next time. Um, I like to share things that I know, but it's helpful for me to know what things you're interested in order to come up with, some planned tutorials. So, I mean, we can certainly do that here. I would really love to do that here, as a matter of fact. So, hit me up with some things that you would like to know more about or learn about, and we can certainly talk about those. I would be more than happy to do that. And now, let's see, I think I have those go way up there. I think we're going to get rid of these tails because they've been hanging down here now for 2 columns. So I think they're covered up enough that we can say bye-bye. Besides that, they're getting annoying the closer I get to them. So there we go. There we go. How many of you have tried diagonal stitching or are stitching on the diagonal? I'd be curious. Okay. Or am I nuts? Okay. Either my chat isn't showing up or you guys are really quiet today. I'll go away. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just going to stitch a while. And like I said, I'm open to any suggestions of what kind of things you want to know about. Or what kind of things you want to learn about. I was excited to see Jean Farish was back on YouTube doing some videos. Um, I've watched, I think she's done 3 now, and I've watched them, and they have been excellent, excellent videos. In fact, this last one, she talked about fabrics and linen, and I actually wanted to give her a hug when I heard her say linen is an even weave. I think the industry has named has put fabrics into categories like, okay, we have linen, we have even weave, and we have Ada cloth. And that's been one of the things that I always kind of made me go, oh, please understand, people. Linen, even weaves, and Ada cloth are all even weave unless otherwise specified. They all have the same number of warp threads and what they call weft threads. So they all have the same number of threads horizontally as they do vertically, which is the definition of an even weave. And that has always made me cringe a little when that a lot of people don't understand that. And you just have to remember, even weave means just that. The weave is even. The weave has the same number of threads horizontally as it does vertically. The difference in these fabrics is the content of which they are made up of. Linen, of course, is made from a plant. It's made from flax, and hence the name linen. Ada cloth is, and linen is also what they call, and I hope I have this term right, what they call a monoweave, which means it's one thread of the flax going over, under, over, under, over, under in both directions. So it's one thread. Hence the terms 1/1. Ada cloth, on the other hand, is normally made of cotton, but the weave is different. If you look at even Ada cloth, you definitely see little blocks, and that's because it's a combination of 4 threads that go over, under, vertically and horizontally, therefore making a more solid looking block at each of those over, under intersections. Then what we're today calling even weaves, we're pretty much going back to the mono weave, the one thread over, under, and over, under, both vertically and horizontally. But the blends, it's a blend of different fibers or man-made fibers that make up the fabric. Like your Lugana, for example, is a blend of cotton and viscose, I believe. So it's 2 different things that are blended together that make up those threads that are then woven into your fabric. So really, when it comes to fabric, that is the difference. It's the blend of materials used to manufacture that fabric. Now, they are all, even mono canvas that you do needlepoint on is an even weave. Same number of threads horizontally and vertically. So really the difference is whatever the cloth is made of. Is it all flax? Is it all cotton? Is it a combination of cotton and another substance? That's what makes it different. Now, there are some fabrics out there that are not even weave. They're woven the same way, mono, one strand, over, under, but they have maybe more threads vertically than they do horizontally. And then they are marked as such, just like your one of the most popular ones, I should say, that's um, uneven is your 5260. I think Lakeside Linens dyes a lot of 5260. Um, that's an uneven weave. But when you see it, sold in the store, you're going to see it marked 5260, telling you that's an uneven weave. If something's marked 20 count, 25 count, 32 count, 28 count, those are even weaves. So if it's uneven, it's going to tell you that. Which that's a good thing to know. I've stitched on some 5260 and I found it a little difficult to see, but I managed to be able to stitch on it. Now, I don't think the linen I could do on a big project on it, because I do find that a little more difficult to see. However, for those of you that don't know, and for those of you that like the finer count linens, Zweigert manufactures now a 40 count even weave. I forget what the fiber content is. I honestly don't remember what the fiber content is, but it's 40 count. The threads are just like your Lugana, and it's wonderful stuff to work on. I absolutely loved it. In fact, I would like to get more of it. And they also manufacture a 56 count even weave. That is so wonderful. And the stitches are so tiny. And believe it or not, I find that easier to see and easier to work on than 56 count linen. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But it's called Meldal, Meldal. It's very difficult to find in the United States. However, I was recently told that Jean at the attic has found a source and is able to acquire it. And if there are people out there, and she has enough people who want to use it, then she would stock it, I believe, if there was enough interest in it. It was stocked in the United States for a little bit, but I don't think it was talked up enough. I don't think there was enough interest at first in it, and Zweigert pulled it from the US. I happened to have a friend in Germany who was able to pick up some for me and mail it to me, and I'm just ever so appreciative of that. In fact, um, I did stitch already by Blackbird Designs the spring, summer, winter, the three birds, spring, summer, winter on the 56 count, and it fit perfectly in a Sudbury House tray that I had. And it was wonderful to stitch on. I really enjoyed it, and I can see that, even see that a lot better than I could see linen of the same count. So what I want to stitch on it is I have a sampler by Queenstown Samplers, Barbara Hudson, and it's, I can't, the last name, I can't remember her first name, but the last name is the same as mine. It's Bug. So I really would like to stitch that on the 56 count linen and put her name on it, as well as my name on it. Um, Maybe make a couple changes in some colors. But I would really, really love to stitch that. So that might be my project after I finish Stitcher's Retreat. Now, if you're watching my stitching here, you're seeing I'm going out of the diagonal because I have this big hunk of color here that's the same color as what I've been working on. And I'd like to empty my needle of the thread before I end the thread and cut it off. So, I mean, that's another thing you can do in diagonal stitching. You make it work for you. You make it, there's no hard and fast rule of, okay, I have to do it this way, or I can only do it this way. Because last time I checked, folks, there was no stitching police. They're not there. Speaking of stitching police, that is another thing I wanted to talk a little bit about after I have a sip of water. Jean Farish talked about this on her first video that I watched. And again, I wanted to go, all right, I am with you 100% on that. And that is the way, how can I say it? I'm just going to say it. The way stitchers, a lot of stitchers, have become so critical of the work of other people, especially the back of their stitching. And personally, I'd like to see people let that go. And let's not criticize the fact that some people don't have a very neat back to their stitching. Because here's my thought. And again, I would be truly very interested in hearing what you guys think. But my thought is, As long as the person stitching is happy with the work that they are doing, that's fine. And we need to let it go. You know, there's all ends of the spectrum out there with the way people stitch. You know, there are those who are perfectionists, and they have the perfect front as well as the perfect back, and that is what they want to do. And far be it from me to say that's wrong. That's what they're happy with. That is their goal, is to do the best that they can do. And, you know, they want perfection in their stitching. And maybe they're stitching for a show. You know, maybe they're stitching to enter it into a stitching contest, whether it be at Woodlawn, whether it be at a county fair, whether it be at their state fair. You know, I get that. They want to have their stitching be the absolute best that it can be. But that's not everybody's cup of tea. You know, and on the far end of the other end of the spectrum are those people that, you know what, it's the back. When it's framed, nobody's going to see it. I don't care what the back looks like as long as the front looks decent. And you know what? That's okay too. That's what that person is happy with, and that it's their stitching. And who are we as fellow stitchers to say, oh my God, that's awful. Oh my God, that's terrible. You know what? I've seen the backs of some heaven and earth designs that are so thick and padded and look like string art on the back. And you know what? If that person is happy with that and they are happy with their stitching, good for them. Good for them. I would think most of us are middle of the roaders. You know, our backs aren't perfect, but they're, oh, thank you, Sharon. I don't know what I did that my chat's not on. Do you know how I can turn it on? I thought there was something wrong here that people aren't seeing it. I'm not on Twitch. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, let me move my camera a little bit. Let me get on here. There we go. Is it on now? Oh my God. You mean I have been... Here I am talking for an hour and nobody's hearing me. Oh, good Lord. I thought something was not right because nobody was talking to me. All right. Okay. Let me see what I... All right, my microphone's on. Let me... Audio. Music. Okay, can somebody try and type me a message on here? Oh my God, I can't believe. No wonder I feel like I'm talking to myself. Jeez Louise. I don't know why it's not on. Okay. Let me go on. Let me go on Twitch. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's my granddaughter wanting to, um, that's my granddaughter wanting to play Minecraft. Okay, let me go on. Okay. Oh, geez Louise. Turn that off. Am I on now, Sharon? And anybody that's on YouTube, can you try and send me a hold on till I'll be right back. Emmy, AB, can I call you back a little later?
What is that?
Oh, how about, let's see, how about 12:30?
12:30?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, love
Wanna
you.
play Minecraft?
Yeah,
Love you. Let's go play Minecraft.
okay, 12:30.
Okay.
Okay, love you. Sorry about that, folks. Oh my God. I don't know what the world. I can't see any chat. Okay, I don't know what I did wrong. This worked any other time. Oh, and I would really love to chat with you guys. So, oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, let me close that. Sharon, thank you so much. No wonder I felt like I was talking to myself. You guys couldn't answer me. Yeah, let me try that. Let me go off and then come back on again and see if that doesn't fix it. Okay? Let me finish here.